Compound interest. Compounding involves calculation of interest periodically over the life of the loan or investment. Periodically, it means it's calculated every year or every 6 months. It's calculate the interest or every month or every day also. Compound interest, the interest on the principal plus the interest of prior periods. Okay, we'll take examples and understand how it works. As a simple interest, I need to find two things. I need to know two things: future value of interest, future value of my principal, which is a compounded amount, and I need to know the present value. Present value, okay, present value, for example, if I want to be in my account after 5 years, I want to be $200,000 into my account after 5 years. How much shall I deposit today to get after 5 years 200,000 or any amount? This is what we call the present value of this amount after 5 years. Compound terms, as I said before, compound periods could be compounded annually, once a year means annually, it's calculated, or compounded semi-annually, 2 times a year and every 6 months, or compounded quarterly 4 times a year, or monthly 12 times a year, or every month, or compounding daily. Still I'm thinking of mentality of simple interest. How to calculate compound interest using simple interest, or what we call calculated manually. Let's take this example. Ben Smith deposited $80 in a saving account for 4 years at annual compounded rate, not simple rate, compounded rate of 8%. What are Bill's compound amount and interest after 4 years? Let's take it. This is the first year. This $80. This $80 first year times the rate interest rate is 8%. So times 0.08. What's the simple interest in this case for the $80 for 1 year? For $80 for 1 year, what's the interest will be? $6.4. If I add it to the $80, which is at beginning of the balance, it will be $86.4 amount a year and at end of the first year. $86.4. Second year or second period, start with 86.4. I didn't take anything from it, just use the same amount, 86.4. Again, times the rate 0.08, I'll get, it will be 86.4 times 0.08 will be $6.91. So this is the rate, this is the interest rate, it's the interest value for 1 year for $86.4. If I add it to 86, it will be 93.31. Again, for the third year and for the fourth year, at the end of fourth year, it become $108.83. So what is the interest? What's the benefit? I'll subtract 108.83 minus initial value, principal $80. I get the profit. This is if I calculate it manually. By using simple interest method, calculate compounded interest. This is actually no need to use it. I can use tables. There is a tables ready tables built for calculating the compound interest. These are tables can use to calculate compound interest. Let's work on how to calculate compound interest using the tables. I'll show you the tables and where is it. First thing I need to know to calculate the compound interest, how many periods I have, which is here number of years multiplied by the number of times the interest is compounded per year. I said compounded semi-annually for 3 years. How many periods in this case will be? Semi-annually, 2 times a year, and it will be 3 times 2 equal 6 periods. If you compounded $100 for 4 years at 8% annually, semi-annually, or quarterly, what is N and R? What is N? How many periods? Here I have in this example, it's 4 years, 8% annually. Annually, once a year is annually, one time a year. 4 years, it means 4 period, 4 times 1. That's it. Periods 4 times 1. 4 times 1 equal 4 if it is compounded annually. If it's compounded semi-annually, semi-annually 2 times a year. 4 years time, each year 2 times. How many periods? 4 times 2, it will be 8 periods. If it is quarterly, it means 4 times a year. So 4 years times 4 period each year, 4 periods each year. 4 times 4 is 16 periods. This first to know about compound interest, number of periods. Also, I need to know the time. Rate for each period. Time is the periods. The rate for each period. Here I multiply number of years and how many times compounded. For rate of each period, I need to divide annual interest rate divided by the numbers of times the interest is compounded per year. Annual interest rate divided by the number of times compounded per year. For example, here, if it is annually 4 periods, what will be the rate? The rate will be, here is 8%, divided by 1, once a year, so divide by 1, it is 8%. If it is semi-annually, what will be the rate? It's 8% divided by 2 because it is 2 times a year. So it is 4%. If it is quarterly, so R will be 8% divided by 4 times a year, it means 2%. It's the same words as I said for each period. In last case, in quarter case, 2%. Now I need to take this number and plug it into the table and look into the table to find table factor. What do I mean by table factor? Let's continue here. So for compound interest, I need to know how many periods and what's the rate. Of course, depends. Is it annually or semi-annually? As this, all this information will be given into example. Here's just simple comparison between simple interest and compound interest. In simple interest, I said interest equal principals times rate times T. Principal, what's the principal? Is $80 times T. What is the time? For 4 years times rate 8% times 0.08. It will give me $25.6 for 4 years. It's okay. This for simple, but for compound, no. I need to take $80 for the first year, and then I use it again for second year, as I said, as I explained before in this example. So $80 after 4 years becomes $108.83. Here is the interest is 25. What is the interest here? In this case will be, what is the interest? It will be 108.83 minus 80. What does it equal? I think it will be 28.83. Is it correct? 28.83. 180 is 20, 28.83. This is the interest. This is the compound interest. Of course, compound interest is more than simple interest, because every year invest the same value. But the banks, if you deposit your money in the bank and ask for a compound interest for a period, you can't withdraw your money. It will be saved into the bank for periods of all the loan. Mostly in this case it happens. Sometimes you can take your cash, but it will be a big penalty. You lose all your deposits. Okay, amount here. This example. Here is 28.83, which of course is higher than simple interest. Let's take example. First step, find the periods, as we said before, how many periods, and step 2, find the rate. Then go down to the table. You can find it. You can find it on internet free. This copy is available on the internet. Practical business math procedures. This is a business math handbook to accompany with book practical business math procedures. This sample, just this table. Here is the rate on above corner. This is the rate. See, this is the rate. This is the periods, as I said, periods. These are actually these 5 tables. 5 tables for different 5 outputs. In this chapter, we'll cover these 2. We'll cover this compound value. Look here, table 12, one compounded value of $1. This would call table factor. These values are table factor. And this one, the present value. Present value, how much shall I deposit today to get after some time a fixed amount? Okay, now let's do practice. Take the example. Okay, now we'll concern on compounded value. The compound value of $1. Okay, then multiply table factor by the amount of the loan. You'll give a compounded amount directly. Is another type of tables. It's another shape. It's the same. Future value of $1 at compounded interest. This table give me for different rates and periods. Give me future value of compound interest. In this table, each page for a rate, this is the rate, this rate, 0.5 rate. See the next page. Okay, next page, 1% rate. Next page, 1.5 rate. Okay, here each page with the rates. Here rate given in a column, each column rate. But I'd like to prefer to use this table, which is easier and simpler to deal with. Okay, let's take this. This is a sample of 1.5%. Okay. This example, BAM deposits $8,000. This guy deposits $8,000 in her saving account that pays 6%. 6% interest compounded quarterly. Compounded quarterly 4 times a year. What will be the balance of her account at the end of 5 years? At end of 5 years. First, I need to know how many periods I have here. How many periods? And what is the rate for each period? How many periods here I have? How many years? How many years?
5 years.
5 years. Each year, 4 times quarter. Each year 4 times 5 times 4 equal 20 periods. So I know from the table, 20 periods. Okay, sorry. This is the periods. This periods. What is 20? This 20. This 20 periods. Okay, what is the rate? I don't know. I need to calculate the rate. Rate here 6%. Divide by 4 times 6, divide by 4 equal 1.5%. So at 1.5%, 20 periods, I need to look for the table factor. What does it equal? What is 1.5? This 1.5 actually. At 20 periods, this 20 periods. Okay. It's 20 periods for 1.5. So this value, compounded value, this is a compounded value. Sorry, this is a compounded value. This is a compound. So table factor here is 1.3469. Okay. 1.3469. So I said simply 1.3649. Is it correct? 1.3469 times.
No, 469. Yeah, Dr.
1364. 134. 34. Sorry. I feel it is wrong. 3469 times 8,000 is principal value. I'll get the amount directly compounded after 5 years. Okay, let's see solution in a better writing. It's 20 periods. This 1.5. The stable factor. So the compounded amount is 8,000 times the stable factor. Get $10,775. Means $8,000 after 5 years with 6% interest compounded quarterly, you will get $10,775.2. That's all. Just this way. You need to know how many periods and what is the rate. Go to the table factor, find the value, multiply by initial amount here, you will get the final answer. Okay, that's all. This is the way how to calculate the compound interest. Look, what is this example? Melvin has difficulty deciding whether to put his saving in Mystic Bank or Four Rivers Bank. He's confusing where to save his money, in this bank or in the other bank. This one, Mystic, offers 10% interest compounded semi-annually. Okay. The other bank, Four Rivers, offers 8% interest compounded quarterly. This is semi-annually 10%. The other one, 8% quarterly. Melvin has $10,000 to invest. Which is better? To put his money in Mystic or in Four Rivers Bank? I need to calculate, do my calculation and find what is the compounded interest value after 4 years. Simply, I calculate for Mystic and calculate it for Four Rivers. Which is better for me? I'll go for it. So here is Mystic 4 years times 2 because it's semi-annually. It's offered semi-annually. It's 8 periods. 10 divided by 2, 5%. So 10,000 times 1.47 equal $14,775 minus 10,000 first value. So this bank will give interest $4,775. The other bank, 4 years, 4 periods, 16 periods, 8 divided by 4, 2% rate. Table factor. Was it okay? How to? Okay, let's look. How did you find this value? At 2% rate, 16 period. At 2,000 rate, this 1.5 rate. This 2% rate. This is 2% rate. How many periods? 16 periods. 16. This is 16 period. So the interest, the table factor 1.3728. Okay. This value, the second column, no, it's not. We didn't cover it. We'll talk about second column. Now just we are concerned in compound value just for first column. 1.3728. It's okay here. 1.3728. What about this one? 8 periods at 5%. What is the table factor? Let's go to the page of 5%. This is 2%. It's 2.5. This is 3%. 3.5, 4%, 4.5. This is 5%. 5%, 8 periods. This is 8 periods. This is 5%. What's the rate? 1.4775. This 1.477. Okay, simply, very simple. Is it anybody didn't understand? Any question? This all about compound interest so far. So he will go to MyStick. MyStick give 4,775. Other bank is give 3,700, which is this. Okay, so you'll go to this bank. Let's take something new. Nominal and effective rate. What is effective rate? Nominal rate, the rate which is the rate in which the bank calculate interest. It means this one, this nominal value. First time, this nominal value. Or nominal rate, sorry, nominal rate. What about effective rate? Effective rate need a calculation, or we call some APY. Effective rate, interest for 1 year divided by principal. Interest for 1 year divided by principal. Let's do this exercise. For this bank blue, 8% compound quarterly. I need to find the interest for 1 year. To find APY, I need to find interest for 1 year, compound interest for 1 year. So it is 4 times 1, because it's compounded quarter, 4 times 1, 4 period in 1 year. So 4 periods. Percent, 8% divided by 4 is 2%. Principal 8,000. From table, at 1 rate, 2%, 1 rate, 2% 4 periods, 2% 4 periods. Where is 2%? This is 3. Please, if you have any question, please let me know. 2% for 4 periods. This 4 periods. What's the table factor? 1.08. So I multiply 1.0824 times what? The amount, 8,000. So 1.08 times 8,000. So this is the value, 8,600. What is the interest value? I subtract the difference between this value and the amount 8,000, the original amount 8,000. So become this is the principal, this interest 659.20. This is the interest. This is the interest for 1 year. The formula asks interest for 1 year divided by principal. Interest for 1 year is 659.2 divided by 8,000. Divided by 8,000, which is equal 0.0824. As a percentage, 8.24%. This for this bank. I do the same exercise for the other bank. I get 8.16. So this APY is bigger than APY for the other bank.
دكتور
Yes.
دحين اللي احنا نشوف الجدول على اساس البريزنت الناتج اللي يطلع لنا اللي هو 2%.
2%. نسبة 2% and periods 4 periods. 4 periods and 2%. This is 4 periods. First, look to the page of 2%. This 2%. Because other page is different. This is 1.5%, 2%, 2. Each page different percentage. This is 2%, and this this 4 periods. I'm working on this column, compounded value. First column. So this is the rate 1.0824. This 1.0824. We multiply by 8,000. I'll get the compounded value, compounded sum after 1 year. It's compounded sum 8,659. What is the interest, exact interest? Okay, I'll subtract 8,000 minus 8,000, the original amount. I'll get benefit of 659.20. Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. This simple graph show me if I start beginning balance with $1,000 nominal rate of interest, the first, yeah, the bank give rate 6%. This we call nominal rate. If it's compounded annually, ending balance will be 1,060. Yeah, it means $60 benefit, $60 divided by 1,000 as a rate 6%. If I want to calculate effective rate, I need to find this end balance. End balance is $1,060 minus the amount 1,000. So will be 60. So I'll take this 60 and divide by on 1,000 times 100 to be as a percentage, just 6%. 6%. If it is semi-annually, it will be 1,060.9. Okay. Of course, as compound period increase, annually, semi-annually, quarterly, daily, the ending balance will be bigger, or APY will be greater. APY will be greater, 6%, stuff 6% if it's annually. If it is semi-annually, 6.09%. If it's quarterly, 6.14. Just this to make comparisons between compounded periods. Interest compound daily. Interest measured as 1% deposit for 360 days based. Period 1, 2, 3, 4. This by days, so periods, and this interest rate. Look this example. If I have use table 12.2 to calculate what $1,500 compounded daily for 5 years will grow to 7, grow at 7% in 5 years. 7%. Just look into the table. This table 5 and 7, rate 7, n equal 5, n equal 5, or rate at 7%, this 7%. So the value 1.4, 1.4190. 1.4190, this is the factor. 1.4190. If we multiply this table factor by 1,500, you get 2,128. This here we talk about compounded value, which is this table. Now we'll talk about the present value. Present value is the second column. This one, this is called present value. How much I want in my account? For example, I want in my account 10,000 riyals after 3 years into the bank, compounded annually, semi-annually, whatever. How much shall I deposit today? Which is called present value. What's the present value to get after some time fixed amount? Like this example, present value goes from the future value to the present value. It goes from future value to present value. I want $1,000, $10,000 after 4 years. How much shall I deposit today? How much shall I deposit today? I deposit $7,350. No, it's 0.7 because this is as a value $1 value. For if a future value $1 after 4 years, how much it will be today? It's 0.735. After 1 year, be 0.79. We do same exercise as simple interest, multiply by the rate, and add the value, and here the same, and this is the same. After 4 years, I'll find it will be $1. There is a table give me the present value directly. If I want $10,000, how much I invest today? It will give me directly what is the present value. So put it in the bank. After some time, I'll get this fixed amount. Okay, for present value, same, find periods. Find periods. The same story, years multiply number of times interest compounded 1 year. Find the rate, same story, same thing. Go to the table, this column, and the table, second column. This table, present value, present value table. It's present value. It's called the present value. Let's take example. If you have any question, you can ask me, please. Then I multiply table factor by future value. You get the present value. Compounded interest table with the present value. This table factor 1.3 value in 4R8 and O8. So if I invest $80 now for 4 years at rate 8%, I'll get $100.8, $108.84. How we found this? Okay, now we have N4 and R8. R8 rate 8%. Then look to the table of 8. Okay, let's do it together. With table 8%. This is 5, 6, 7, 7.5. Okay, this is 8. All right, this is 8%. It's 8%. It's 8%. Was how many number? N4, 4 periods. This is 4 periods. I need the present value. This is present value. So I'll go to this column, this one. 0.735. We note here it is less than 1. This value is less than 1. So if I multiply 0.7350, 0.7350 times $80 times, no, oh, sorry, here, this is present value, sorry. I'm looking for present value. This $100, 108.84, we multiply by 0.734, I'll get $80. I'll get the present value. So I have to put in the bank now $80 present value. If I put now present value $80, will be after 4 years. After 4 years, 108. But here I give you now. I want in my bank this amount. How much shall I deposit today? Which is the present value. This is the ordinary compound. And ordinary compound, this table. But while this present value, we call this table. Let's take example. This okay. This guy needs $20,000 for college in 4 years. She can earn 8% compounded quarterly at her bank. She wants, after 4 years, she wants $20,000. How much must Rain deposit at the beginning of the year to have $20,000 in 4 years? How much to put in the bank now to get after 4 years? 4 years, $20,000. 1 year, second year, third year, fourth year. She wants $20,000 after 4 years. How much she will put today? Or present value? What's the present value of today value? Present value to get $20,000 after 4 years. On the bank, 8%. First 8% compounded quarterly, and 8 divided by 4, 2%. How many years? 4 years. 4 years divided by 4. 4 times 4, sorry, 16 periods. 16 periods and 2%. 16 periods and 2%. This is 8. No, I want 2%. This is 2. Where is 2%? 2.5. Yes, this is 2%. This 2%. And how many periods? 16 periods. So where is 16? Yeah, this is 16. What's the present value? What's the table factor of present value? This value. This is 16. It's a present value. 0.7284. So 0.7284. I think multiply in 20,000. What's the answer? 20,000 times 0.72. Anyone can calculate it? What is the answer? 20 times 0.7284. 20.
14,568.
14,568. That's it? No point? Okay.
No points.
Okay. So if she invests today this amount, today, 14,568, after 4 years, she will get $20,000. This we call present value. You must be distinguished between present value and future value or compounded value. Sometimes it's said it's future value. Or it's compounded value.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
The period you multiplied 4 by 4.
4 by 4.
Yeah, 4 years.
Yes, 4 years.
Multiplied by 4 as a quarter.
Quarter, yes, 4 times a year.
What if the question says, for example, she can earn 8% compounded
semi-annually? If it is semi-annually, 4 years, so 4 times 2, it is 8 periods.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
Clear, thanks.
Okay. If it's compounded annually, 4 years annually, it means 4 periods. See, that's annually,
okay.
Once a year.
Yes.
Okay.
That's clear.
Yes, thank you. This is the answer. So now this information, it helped helps how much she will invest today to get 20,000 after 4 years. Like for example, if you plan to buy a car after 3 years, you have some cash in the bank, you need to how much you will pay deposit now to get the car price after 4 years. This example, owner a local Subway shop loaned $40,000 to help him open a Subway franchise. Petty plan to repay loan at the end of 8 years with 6% interest compounded semi-annually. How much will line receive at the end of 8 years? How much you receive at the end of 8 years? How many periods here I have? 8 compounded semi-annually, 8 times 2, 16 periods. What is the rate? 6% divided by 2 is 3%. Table factor 41.6047. This 40,000 will be after we receive at the end of 8 years will be 64,000. It's another question. نفس the same story. 6 periods, 9, 5. Okay. Let's take this example. Angela borrowed $82,000 for her granddaughter's college education. She must repay the loan at end of 9 years. Repay the loan at end of 9 years with 9.25% interest. 9.25. What is the maturity value Angel must repay? Maturity value. This is simple interest, not compound interest. It's not written interest compounded annually, compounded semi-annually. It's not mentioned. So if it's not given, it means it's simple interest. This simple interest. Just find simple interest. This value principal times the rate times 9 years, the period by year. So the answer is $68,265. $. Maturity value, this value 82,000 plus this interest. We'll get the maturity value. On May 19, Peter borrowed $3,000 from Risk Bank at rate 12.5%. The loan is to be repaid on October 8. And from 19 May to October 8, assume the loan is based on exact interest. Simple interest, exact interest. What is the total interest cost? Just ask for total interest. Here in this question, not ask for maturity value, just ask for interest. So if you find any question like this in exam, ask just for interest, just calculate interest, full stop, period. Ask for maturity value, okay, you have to add interest plus principal value. Here we found it from May 19 to October 8 is 142 days. This is $3,000 times this rate 12.5 divided by 100 or 0.125, just 0.125. You don't know, just divide by 100 times 142 divided by 365 because it is exact interest. So this is the interest, full stop, it's interest. This again example on simple interest. He here ask for the time. He give the interest, the principal, rate, and ask for the time. In this question, ask for principal and give all other information. This example, 5-day notes, 120-day 5% note. Okay, this borrow $5,000 at day 100. We solved this question before, I think. This is payment, US roll payment on installments. He paid on installments. We solved this question before. I think this one also. Peter wants to buy a new Chevy in 5 years. I want to buy a car in 5 years. He estimates the car will cost $24,000. This in 5 years. Assume Peter invests $15,000 now at 8% interest compounded, and we need to use the table, compounded semi-annually. Will he have enough money to buy the car at the end of 5 years? Yes or no? I need to find the value after 5 years. Okay, how many periods? This semi-annually, 5 years, 5 times 2 is 10. This 10 periods. What's the rate? 8%. Semi-annually, 8 divided by 2 is 4%. So I have to look in my table, this simple table, where the first column, this column, let's turn to this column, compounded, because he asked me, he invests this amount. He don't invest 24. He invests 15,000 for 5 years, and ask you, is it enough? He will get enough money. I found it when we calculated 15,000 times this table factor 1.4802 of R 4% rate 4% with 10 periods, 4% and 10 periods. This 2, 3, 4. This 4%, 10 periods, 4%, 10 periods. This 10 periods at 4% is 1.4802. Here in this question, it didn't ask for present value. Didn't ask for compounded value. You wanted 1.4802 is 1.4802 times 15,000 will be 22,000, which is not enough. His car is 24,000. His invest will be 22,000. So the answer, it's not enough money. Clear? Any question? These questions, you have to read it. You have to solve it again by yourself. And this question also the same, question 7. Jane estimate she will need 35,000 for a new computerized office system. Jane decide to put aside the money today so that it will be available in 10 years. Both bank offers Jane 4% interest compounded semi-annually. How much Jane must invest today? What's it in here? How much invest today to have 35,000 in 10 years? This is present value in this case. I need to use the present value. I need to use this table. Because she asked me how much she invests today, how much must invest today to get 35,000 in 10 years. Okay, what's the rate? And I have here 4% semi-annually, 4 divided by 2, which is 2%. How many periods? 10 years. 10 years, 2 times every year, it's 20 periods. So at 2%, 20 periods, what's the present value table factor? At 2%, at 2%, 20 periods. No, this is 4. No, I want to first look to the period, not too confused. These 2 periods. These 2 periods. 2%, sorry, 20 periods. What is 20 periods? This is 20. So the present value here, not this one, no, this one. 0.6730. So 0.6730. Where is it? 0.6730 times 35,000. So answer is 23,555. So she must deposit in her bank today, $23,555 to get after 10 years, to get $35,000 after 10 years. Using this 4% interest compound semi-annually blah for 10 years, okay? Using this data. Any question? It's clear, inshallah. Here, Jim deposit $8,000 at National Bank, 6% interest compounded quarterly. What was the effective rate? What is this effective rate? What is effective rate? The PAY. Simply, I need to find the interest of 1 year. Interest of 1 year. Divide by the initial value, principal value. So the deposit value. Here I found it's 4 periods at rate 1.5. That's given here in the example. Compounded quarterly 6% divided by 4 is 1.5. Is the rate. The periods 4 times how many years? Oh, because I wanted for 1 year to find BAY effective rate should be for 1 year. 1 times 4 is 4 period. Table factor is 1.0614 times 8,000. Answer is 8,492. So what's the interest value? We subtract 8,492 minus 8,000, which is equal $491.2. I'll take this $491.2 divided by 8,000 to get 0.0616 as a fraction. 0.0616. If you multiply by 100, sorry, 0.0. Someone calculate, please. I may write something not correct here. What's the answer? 490.2 divided by 8,000. 491.2 divided by 8,000. Answer is 0.00. Sorry. 0.00615 or 14. Here, so should be decimal here. 0.00. Is it correct? 491.
Yes, correct.
0.2 divided by 8,000. No.
0.06.
No.
0.0614.
0.06.
0614.
I wrote down 80,000, not 8,000. So 0.0614. This is a fraction. I want it in decimal because it's a rate. So multiply by 100 or take this decimal 2 digits to the right. You come 6.14. Put percentage sign. This effective rate or APY. Just simply find the interest rate for 1 year and divide by the initial amount.